going to take you through 10 tips that'll help you out through Season 5. The first tip being around offensive aspects. Now, the Opal vendor at the moment, if you go and gamble for the maces, essentially each one's going to be a legendary piece of equipment, which means you can easily farm those offensive aspects for each of the classes you're on. So that's going to be the best way to try and unlock the Codex of Power. Tip number 2, the Mother's Gift. So for the seasonal quest line, you will be trying to earn Mother's Gift to unlock rewards. One thing in here which you may not know is that once you've unlocked all the rewards, you do keep unlocking additional chests which you can unlock in the top right hand corner here. Going into the third tip, favoriting your aspects. So a new feature you can do is in the Codex of Power, if you're taking most of the same aspects for your build and you're trying to continually upgrade them, what you can do is you can go into Codex of Power, favorite them using spacebar if you're on PC, and then when you go back into the Codex of Power later on, the ones you favorited will now be at the top of each area, making it a lot easier to find the ones you want and upgrade as you're going. Tip number 4, tempering recipes. So if you unlocked any tempering recipes in Season 4, they were actually going to carry over, and any new character you create, if you unlocked them last season, you will have them at the start of the season as well, which means you're going to be able to add offensive and defensive capabilities onto your legendary equipment straight away at the highest level, which is going to give you a massive damage boost and health bonus. So recommend taking them straight away. In terms of gold farming for this season, the best way to be able to get gold is going to be playing through the Infernal Hordes. You can quite easily get over 120 million gold per hour working through this. So in this example here, I did a tier 4 and got 300 ether. I traded that in for about 22 million gold. You can do about 6 runs per hour, so well over 120 million gold per hour, and you could get higher as well. You can see here I did some testing on the different gold rate you get per ether as well. So if you can do high tier levels and get a lot of ether, then you're going to be getting a lot of gold per each of the ether you trade in. Now in terms of XP farming, I have gone through this a bit more in another video, but essentially the Infernal Hordes is the best way to level up as well. You can quite easily at certain brackets be getting 18 million XP for one run through the Infernal Hordes, which could be well over 100 million XP per hour. So it's going to be the best way to try and level up, especially in those mid levels once you unlock it in World Tier 3 and working through World Tier 4. Going to tip 7 now, in terms of farming materials, the best way is going to be working through Infernal Hordes. You can get your tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 masterworking materials. It just depends what tier of the Infernal Hordes you're actually doing in terms of what you will get. But say you get 200 ether in tier 5, you're going to be able to get 200 of the tier 2 masterworking materials from one run. So it's going to be the best way in order to farm those materials going forward. Now going into equipment, if you are looking for any of the new Season 5 uniques, the best place to find them is going to be here in the Infernal Hordes as well. They have stated that there is a higher chance to get them. So if you're looking for any of those new uniques from Season 5, then make sure you go and farm and open either Spoils of Great Equipment or Spoils of Equipment after each run. Now going into Resplendent Spark farming, now just like last season, you get a Resplendent Spark at the end of the seasonal reputation. You can get one from the first Tormented boss kill, and the one from killing Uber Lilith for the first time as well. That will give you 3 once you go through that. Then each time you create a new character, you can also go through the seasonal reputation system again to get an additional spark at the end of that system. Going into the 10th and final tip, so they did make it so that all the trembling hands, blackened femurs and gurgling heads used to summon Varshan were meant to go away in this update, but however they are still dropping. But if they do drop, don't worry, you can go through and basically, as you see here, you can then trade them in for the malignant hearts that you want, and then you can go use them to summon Varshan. If you found any of these tips useful, please remember to hit the like and then also subscribe for further Diablo 4 content. Now, if you have any other tips that you know about, feel free to mention them down in the comments.